Do I think life gets better because you are able to endure it as you harden, Cool Bob? I mean, in some ways, yes. But in a more succinct way, you learn to not sweat the small stuff. That's what it is. So it's not necessary. I mean, that is hardening, but it's not the way you're phrasing it or the way you're thinking of it. It's not exactly that. It's that you grow up and you learn to not sweat the small stuff. That's what it's more about. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Because it's really important to know when you're sweating something that is not genuinely a big deal or is a hang up in your own brain that is amplifying it. That is experience and living. And the sooner you comprehend that philosophy is the sooner you will be less inhibited by your own hang-ups and those mental locks and emotional locks and spiritual locks and intellectual locks. Metaphysical locks. Metrosexual locks. So it's good to, that's really the biggest deal. Is not to be hung up on the small stuff. Because when you're not experienced, you're not ready to handle it, the small stuff will be huge. And that's really, that's a distinction of experience. Is when you can recognize something as petty or small. It's something you need to focus on. You need to consciously focus on your perception. Or you'll be put under by small things that you perceive as big. What do you think of that one, huh? We've gotten into some good stuff tonight. I'm really pleased. And I actually have to make a note of this, because tonight we talked about some fucking bang fucked shit. Was it 26th? What's the year? I actually have to make a note of that, because I might even highlight that. Something good. Highlight shit. Good idea. There are big things you perceive as small, Dan Blow. That's a really good question. You know what that is? You know what the big things that you perceive as small is the amalgamation of all of the small things. All the details of your thinking and your living added up day by day by day by day that you perceive as small is a whole life. To answer your question. Because that's another important distinction too. The big things that you perceive as small. It's all about the perception. The doors of perception. It's all about that. You're trained like an animal to perceive the big things as small and the small things as big. That's what sabotages your life. That's what society does to you. Makes the big things small and the small things big. A classic inversion. Just like everything evil in this world. It's important to remember. Vital. It's vital. It's vital that you remember that. The only thing evil in this world is that which is turned upside down. That is it. Sounds simple. but it's not. But you can make anything complex simple with, I don't know the word for it. Experience, intelligence, discernment, mindset. I don't know what the word is, but you have to use all of those words in order to grasp the one that works for you and crystallizes the abstraction corpse. Turns the abstraction into the tangible. Vitally important that you always turn the abstract into the tangible in your mind. It's called raising your intelligence. That's important. That's important. And Dap here has been putting in the hours for years now, working on his craft. Doing the small things every day. Coagulating it into mastery, into a big thing. It's important. It's an important lesson. Vital. How do you deal with the tedium of a low-wage job every day, promoter? I mean, the way I dealt with it. I mean, I can only tell you the way I dealt with it. What's this? Yo, what's this book, Dap? Thanks for that recommendation. Oi! Nice. The way I dealt with it. Promoter, okay? When I worked, when I was behind in a cash register, dicking around, I read my my Greek plays in the downtime. I took notes. Okay. Also, during those times in the winter behind the register when I had a lot of free time, I wore a hoodie and I wore an earpiece and I listened to audiobooks. And I took that over to another one of those jobs. I was working in a fucking cooler, chopping fruit and making guacamole at a goddamn grocery store. You know what I did? I listened to fucking 700 hours of audiobooks when I was... That's what I did. Oh, and also the one before that at the register, I wrote some stories. I actually started putting a pen to paper and fucking writing some absolute horse shit that makes me laugh so fucking hard even to this day. Got started doing that. Consider those things. There's always something you can think of and do. I mean, it's easier said than done, but it's easier done than lamented. That shit. The best thing you can do, I mean, I wouldn't go to college now. But the best thing, in my opinion, to study, even if you're not going to college, is to find a local theater. Take scenes in monologue study. Because they offer those. Take an acting class, and you'll be doing scenes with somebody. Doesn't matter if you're an actor or not. Doesn't matter. Do scenes, do monologues in front of strangers, and take a creative writing class, which forces you to write something and present it and have strangers read it and talk about it. Those are two essential things for anybody. Doesn't matter if you're a writer or an actor. Those are essential for you to do as a rite of passage. What do you think of that? People in general, yes, Cool Bob. Everybody. I suggest that everybody take an acting class, whether in school or in the theater. Elsewhere. I mean, just local theater. Anything. Take acting. Do a scene, do monologues, and I mean, that is more applicable to everybody. Not everyone is going to sit there writing, you know what I mean? But you can act, and that will break some walls for you. Yeah, you got to publish. And this is a way of publishing. I mean, you do the music, This is a way of publishing, have a rite of passage for yourself, giving yourself the publisher's authority of getting something that's inside your mind out to other people. It's important, too. Thing's toast. Extra cigars always turn out to be a good idea, huh? But make sure, don't brush that aside. It's important to do that. There's nothing better than doing scenes and monologues. It's absolutely insane how beneficial it is. The best time of all time. Should get back into that. Maybe I should get back on the game. Well, the world's fucked, so it's not so easy these days, but what do I give a fuck? I just turn on a camera and put a video up on here or on Charles World, do whatever the fuck I want. I've spoken a lot about method acting on some Charles World streams back in the day, Comic-Coin. It's not that I hate method acting. I mean, I've talked a lot of shit about it, of course, but it's that I mean, because once you understand it and you can apply it and you can learn more about what is required to play pretend, you realize that you're playing pretend. Your first job as an actor is you play pretend. You're not trying to be real. You go in a fucking madhouse if you're trying to be real. You're playing pretend. And if you get wrapped up on using material, if you're sourcing from your own life, if you're sourcing unresolved emotional things and incorporating them in your work, you're going to do damage on yourself. So you have to remember that it's pretend and not exactly a possession. So that's something that comes with experience, because there's no actor that's gonna believe that. That's just starting out. They're gonna be like this. Well, fucking, Marlon Brando, he did this and that. Heath Ledger, he's such a good actor, he killed himself. All this fucking Hollywood horse shit. You know what I mean? That's all horse shit. These people are freaks. They're not normal like you and me. These people are freaks. Different story. That's the stuff that you hear from Hollywood is fake. All that shit's fake. It's completely fake. But you do learn from experience that you get through those things, and it just takes experience. You're not just gonna sit there and say, oh, a method, or naturalistic, or I don't even remember the terminology. Naturalistic versus Uta Hagen had a distinction between the two styles of playing pretend or living like a demon. It was naturalistic and something else. I forget what it was. I really forget what it was. But you can't just sit there and do mind games with yourself and work on your acting. I mean, well, there are method exercises, of course. There certainly are that you can do. There are good ones. But it takes being on your feet, performing for strangers, is how you work through that in the hours. You do monologues, you do scenes with other actors, you do stuff like that. That's the time that is actually work and time well spent. It's not sitting there and like this. Well, I was abused this one time, so I'll kind of be thinking about that when it's time to, get emotional during the scene. You do that, you'll end up You'll end up blasting yourself like some Hollywood test tube freak that deserves to die. You don't do shit like that. Those realizations are usually things that come with experience. I actually have quite a bit of experience now over the years. Quite a bit. Many, many hundreds of hours. Maybe thousands of hours now. But those are things you only learn on your feet. And if you're just starting out, you know, doing the method, you're not really going to be very successful at that. So, you know, you're just going to be playing pretend and sort of faking it because you don't have the experience of you know, doing, you know, fucking switch-o, change-o in your mind, you know, in front of strangers. So that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing, though. The method is a lie. The method is a lie. You play pretend. You pretend. You empathize with characters. You don't emote your own experience. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's Hollywood freaks. They don't do that. You know the stuff they're acting? They're acting from thinking about things that they've experienced that would make you kill yourself if you knew about. You gotta remember that. Yeah, the crap in schools, acting teachers, oh my fucking god. Just fucking shitheads. Just crap. It's absolute shit, the stuff that they teach. Yeah, and even Mr. Pregnant, Cabster. Thanks, I appreciate the sentiment. But there was nothing, there was nothing in there that I drew out from experience. I was just playing pretend. I was like, you know, how would you be acting if something like this were happening? It was not method. I was having fun. That's why it was so good, because I was having fun. And I have so many hundreds or thousands of hours of experience, you know, trying to get into a state of having fun while playing pretend. I just, you know, I have a lot of experience. I'm really, really good at it. Maybe the best. You know, so I wasn't drawing upon, you know, real scenarios. You know what I'm saying? It's not about acting as though things are real. You're playing pretend. And, you know, everyone's life is traumatic enough to where you can empathize with tragedy in scenes easily enough. Just not even by your own experience, but simply by the movies that you've seen in your life. It's simply the movies that you've seen in your life that will fill you with trauma and empathy. The things that you read, the things that you listen to, the things that you watch will fill you with more than enough tragedy to get by playing pretend. Any character there is. You don't need to draw anything from your real. That's a mistake. And plus, it's you have to be really experienced, an experienced actor to even be able to do that to begin with. And you're not going to be able to do that. You know? Yeah, don't get caught up in that whole method bullshit. All you have to do is watch Body Double, and you see the scum that are method teachers that get you to sit in a seat and talk about, you know, being abused by your fucking uncle or something. You know, sit there like a fucking mental. Like a mental in there in front of strangers. That's crap, dude. That's Hollywood. It's because they're all freaks. Because they're all abused. This is what it is. Okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. Just one of those things. It's just one of those damn things. Acting is supposed to be fun. Acting is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be painful. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie to sabotage your psyche. You know that. A lie. It's supposed to be fun. Even the most horrific bullshit that you have to do, it's still supposed to be fun. You know, it's not supposed to be therapy. It's supposed to be fun. And if it's not fun, then you're not doing it right. You know what I'm saying? Don't fall for that lie. The Hollywood lie. You know, no one has to be tortured. The torture is something that demons do. Not men, not women. That's something that demons do. You leave the torture to demons. You're not meant for that. You're not meant for that. That's crap. That's a lie. And there's a book out there, I never read it. Was it Acting Without Agony? That's a sort of a, I don't know the word for it, what's when you write something against something? A retort. That's not exactly the right word. Counter. Maybe a counter method. I was, rebuttal, perhaps? Rebuttal. But I was always interested in checking that out. I look at it, the book's like $250. I say, suck my dick. Whoever wrote that, you suck my dick. You know what I mean? You think I'm joking, Kosa? Why don't you look it up? You know what happens when something gets to textbook grade. They go up in price 3, 4, 5, 6 times. You know what I mean? You know how it goes. Can someone look that up for me and get me a price for that? Someone get me a price for that. Valorant? I'm pretty good with substances, man. I'm pretty good with that. You don't need nothing. I mean, caffeine is effective. It is. Caffeine and nicotine. Any more than that, it's a mistake. It's a mistake, man. See that? $111. 198. Yeah, fuck you. Suck my dick. For a book? Suck my cock. Wait, let me see this. What's this guy? Don Richardson? Suck my cock. How's that? How's that for a book? How's that for a book? What do you think of that book, Don? Blow yourself. But I'm sure maybe perhaps that's probably, that may even be probably be a good book. If he could, he would. I mean, generally speaking. I mean, I don't know the guy. Could be dead. I have no idea. I'm just generally speaking. You can't be down with that sort of shit. Get it from a fucking library and fucking copy all the pages. It's pathetic. But I'd like to read that one. Actually, probably be a good idea. Probably good. Probably good. This. What's this? $60? Oh, it's used. Someone get the book. Fucking send it to me. I'll read it out to you. I'll read it out. There's a lot of resources. You don't need to worry. But yeah, don't get caught up in the method. That's absolute shit. Only someone that'll someone who'll extol the virtues of method acting is some broken loser who is, you know, it's not their fault, you know? Not their fault. Just it is what it is. Nothing better than textbooks. Fucking $200, $300. Fuck you. Scum. The whole industry. I mean, it's okay, whatever. What are you gonna do?